Hey guys, welcome back. So this is going to be the third and final video of the first responder first aid kits, and ideally I covered part 1, all the contents, part 2, the explanation of the different types of first aid kits, and finally part 3 is going to be about knowledge and training. I pulled something off the internet and I just want to read it to you. This is the Good Samaritan Law. Good Samaritan Law offers legal protection to people who give reasonable assistance to those who are or who they believe to be injured, ill, in peril, or otherwise incapacitated. The protection is intended to reduce bystanders' hesitation to assistance for fear of being sued or prosecuted for unintentional injury or wrongful death. Good Samaritan laws may vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, as do their interactions with various other legal principles, such as consent, parental law, parental rights, and the right to refuse treatment. Most such laws do not apply to medical professionals or career emergency responders on-the-job conduct, but some extended protections to professional rescuers when they are acting in a voluntary capacity. The principles contained in the Good Samaritan Law more typically operate in countries in which are founded in the legal English common law system, such as Australia and many countries that use civil law as foundation for their legal systems, and legal as typically achieved by principles of rescue law. All 50 states and the District of Columbia have some type of Good Samaritan Law. The details for Good Samaritan Law acts vary by jurisdiction, including who is protected from liability and under what circumstances. So basically the deal is, if you are acting with good moral courage, you're trying to help somebody, every law in every state in the United States has some type of protection under the Good Samaritan Law. So instead of just standing around watching the guy die because you're afraid to get sued, they want to encourage people to actually help that person. And this is where all this comes in. You could get your training pretty much anywhere. I highly recommend the American Red Cross because mostly it's very well known. Guys that are first responders, EMTs and such, they get it from a medical college, obviously doctors, etc. But there's nothing that says you couldn't take those courses as well. A lot of people that live very far from any type of civilization might have a little bit of trouble commuting to get to a training center, a training facility, trying to do that thing. Like I said, most of the training that I received was either in the military, on-the-job training, or I went to the American Red Cross. Those are the 3 places that I went. The American Red Cross classes are not only in person, you could also get training aids such as we see here, and I'll go over that. You can also get DVDs, you can get textbooks, and you know, sky's the limit as much as how much you want to learn. For me, I'm not a surgeon, I'm not a doctor, but I am first responder trained, and I think everybody should be, especially if you have children. And I'm going to get back into the whole children thing as well. There are a lot of good books out there. Where There Is No Doctor, When There Is No Doctor is one of the top books that I recommend. It's by Gerald S. Doyle, and he kind of talks a lot about things that the regular textbook medical stuff will not, and I highly recommend it. You can get it on Amazon. It's really a really good piece of information. If you are someone that likes to mountain climb, I highly recommend this book, so Medicine for Mountaineering, and it will go into a lot of wilderness ailments other than regular first aid. And then of course you got your military books, so Emergency War Surgery, Desert Publications, U.S. Army Tactical Casualty Care, Best Lessons, Combat Lifesaver, revised by Edition C Army Correspondence Course. This is a really good one. This is the Special Operation Forces Medical Handbook. It is from 2008, so it is a little bit dated. But in here, the pages are, I don't want to say they're waterproof, but they are water resistant. So it's actually pretty good. And these books are very hard to find, believe it or not. So that's a good book there. I always have my pocket EMT for first responders. You can buy this on Amazon as well. This is the second edition. I'm sure it's been updated again. This is basically that paper that does not melt in the rain, so to speak, but it's good for quick reference, and a lot of times you don't have that 2 minutes, but you know, if you're eating lunch or whatever and you want to just browse through it, you can just go through it and take a look at that. That's pocket size. This is excellent right here. This is everything that you need to know about medications. Okay, so this is anabolic essentials, but it tells you everything: antibacterial, fungal, antivirus, treatment for HIV and AIDS patients, pediatric infections, that type of stuff. So, I mean, this has a lot of good information, a very pocket size kind of kit, and it just goes through a lot of stuff. So if you need, again, quick reference, these are excellent. These two books together, highly recommended. And then you'll have something that's a little bit more old school, which I like: 100 Simple Healing Techniques for Everyday Emergencies. This is really cool. I like this. It's a little bit dated, but I like it because it gives information that you wouldn't necessarily get, let's say, in an urban environment. So dog problems, skin problems, herbs to pick, different vitamin E treatments, or hay fever, hair loss, you know, old folk medicine. So, and I really need you to understand that a lot of the techniques and technologies that we have today with medicines is basically brought from generations of knowledge and understanding, and a lot of it started in the forest. It wasn't, you know, penicillin and aloe and all these stuff. It's plants, okay? Plants from the forest, from the jungles. Somehow, somewhere, some indigenous tribe figured out how to use it, and then when the Europeans showed up, we took their medicine and we put it in pill form. But knowledge is the idea here. Knowledge is the power that's going to allow you to help people. Okay, so I think it's extremely important that you know what the hell you're doing, especially if you're going to go out there, put some hands on people, and be a healer. I want to get into this a little bit. This is the infant CPR kit. Alright, you can also get this from the American Red Cross. And I just wanted to share something with you briefly. When my son was born, he had to go to the NICU. He had some problem called TEF, where his trachea, while he was in the womb, was not connected to his belly. So there was it's very rare, but it does happen. Surgery fixed him, and thank God that he's awesome now, and the surgery went well. But you know, we always have to watch now because he's a constant choking. He's more prone to choking. All right, so we have to make sure his foods are right and all that other good stuff. But he's great, and he's awesome, and I love him. So while we were in the hospital, believe it or not, the hospital gave us this kit to learn how to do CPR infancy. Now, the nurses that were there were teaching us this, but they gave us this kit as well. You can purchase this kit by yourself if you like, and it comes with the CPR Anytime Infant series, and it has the practice DVD skills. So what you can do is, if you're someone that cannot go to class, you can purchase this kit. You can you get your dummy baby right here. This is a fake dummy baby. You put them all together. You watch the CPR video, and then you learn and you teach yourself how to do CPR. It has instructions in here. It has the mannequin wipes. It has the little blow valve. And ideally, anybody can learn this, all right? It doesn't take a lot. You do not have to be a doctor to save somebody's life. And I keep saying that over and over again. You have to be a good Samaritan or somebody that wants to help somebody. And ideally, if you have children, take the CPR course for children, take first aid. You're really doing yourself a disservice. I can't tell you, a couple times I went to an emergency situation and the mother and the father were waiting for EMS while their baby's turning blue. That's unacceptable as a parent. Don't call 911 and wait. If you have the tools or the option to save that baby, regardless of who it is, and ideally if it is your own baby, wouldn't you want to try to save them? So very, very important stuff here that I'm talking about. And I hope this hits an emotional chord for you. But if you see this right here, this gives you directions for anybody. So it doesn't matter if you are young, if you are old, if you're like, I can't see anymore. This is not that hard. You could read it. It's in English, it's in Spanish. You can get them in any other language if you want. But ideally, learning CPR, learning first aid will save not only your life or maybe your family's life. So that's what's really important here. As far as the other education, they have on the website, I will put it down below, the American Red Cross. They have practice dummies, they have DVDs, they have the textbooks. I'll put all that stuff down below, so if you guys are interested, go up there. Also, I highly recommend going to courses. There are a lot of wilderness courses if you are interested. I'll try to find a couple of those if you are in the United States. And that's pretty much it, guys. I don't want to bore you too much. I know the education part is always going to be a little bit boring. But educate yourself, save your family, and stay safe out there, guys. And if you're interested, please go to 3riverblades.com. Check out all the great, fantastic knives I have up there. Talk to you soon.